In Japan, the largest earthquake in half a century, the port city of Kobe is in ruins. The power of a 7.2 earthquake is any building entirely safe. And the first new drug in 40 years for the treatment of alcoholics.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the human and physical catastrophe in southwestern Japan. The earthquake, just about this time, our time last night, has left Japan's second largest seaport in ruins and taken at least 1,800 lives. Another 1,000 people are missing, and there are thousands and thousands of people who are homeless or who have spent tonight in shelters in fear of an aftershock. The earthquake was recorded at 7.2 on the Richter scale, but more importantly, from its epicenter on an island in Osaka Bay, it focused vast amounts of energy on the crowded coastline. There was destruction 60 miles away, but the most serious and nearly all the deaths occurred in Kobe. In Japanese, Kobe means God's door, but today in Japan, a new dawn has not meant an end to the nightmare. Here's ABC's Deborah Wong.
It began with a rumble and became a huge roar. And for 20 seconds, in the early morning darkness, the earth under central Japan moved, leaving a trail of mass destruction. By morning light, the extent of the devastation had become clear. Entire neighborhoods had been leveled. Thousands of buildings destroyed, and fires were raging out of control. In Kobe, a city of 1.5 million, residents had little warning as their homes, many of them traditional wooden structures, collapsed around them. The house was falling like this, says this old woman, describing how she managed to escape. Very little of the city was spared. A half-mile stretch of a major expressway flipped on its side after its support beams literally crumbled. Hundreds of cars were crushed by falling concrete. At least 17 people were killed here. Elevated train lines were ripped apart. At least 10 trains derailed. The casualty toll would have been much higher had the quake occurred just an hour later, when hundreds of thousands of commuters would have been on the trains and on the roads. Tall buildings, which the Japanese government had touted as earthquake-proof, were hard hit as well. And the entire city infrastructure, from water mains to gas pipes to telephone lines, was devastated. Slowly, quietly, we'll clean up, says this man. There's little else that we can do. Throughout the day, rescuers combed through the rubble of collapsed buildings, searching for the missing, many of them thought to be trapped beneath tons of concrete. They're there on the third floor, cried this woman. Many residents had no help at all. They picked through the rubble with their bare hands. Reinforcements have been slow in coming since the main roads into Kobe have been cut. The port of Kobe, which is built on landfill and which handles about 12% of Japan's exports to the world, is now virtually underwater. Early estimates put the damage from the earthquake at up to $20 billion. By nightfall, tens of thousands of residents of Kobe had been made homeless. Some, carrying what few possessions they could, crowded into makeshift shelters in schools and gymnasiums. Others, fearful of aftershocks, camped out in the cold, while firefighters, hamstrung by low water reserves, watched helplessly as building after building succumbed to flames, expecting that in the hours ahead, the death toll will continue to rise. Deborah Wong, ABC News, Tokyo.
One note about Americans. There are about 8,000 Americans living in the area where the earthquake has done the greatest damage. There are no reports that any Americans were killed or injured. But the U.S. government has set up 2 hotline telephone numbers to handle all inquiries. Here's the one for civilians, area code 202-647-0900. And this other one is for questions about the American military personnel in Japan, area code 703-697-5737. We'll have another report in just a moment from Japan itself. We'll also take a look tonight at smart buildings designed to withstand powerful earthquakes. What really happens to them when the ground shakes?